You probably planned it out.
And it's probably the advent of Sky Plus now as well, really, isn't it?
That's it.
Just imagine when Sky Plus kind of like, you know, just came to be. He was just like, oh my god, I can record all the sport in the world. He actually still does. He actually still will watch women's golf. You know, I'm not being sexist whatsoever, but he actually knows. You know, he actually knows the field. He actually knows the favourites. You know, he's just still pretty much the most obsessive person I've known for sports in terms of watching it.
James, I was listening to your solo album, The Great Western, yesterday. I have to say, I think it's fantastic, James, and I really do. I'll tell you why, because listeners to XFM Scotland know I'm more of an old school Manics fan.
Yeah.
And I have to say, there is so much on that album that to me sounds like Gold Against the Soul era Manics. I know this, and even the single, That's No Way to Tell a Lie, actually reminded me of going back to Generation Terrorists. Still the greatest album in the history of the world ever. Did you say to yourself, I'm going to write an album and I'm going to kind of go back, maybe try and do some stuff that kind of, you know, going back through the Manics past that sounds a bit like them, or does it just naturally come out that way?
That's really weird, because I've obviously completely missed the target in terms of my mission statement, or whatever you want to call it. I was listening to lots of old John Cale stuff like Paris 1919 and Badfinger. I was trying to make it quite murky and 70s-esque, and you've just gone, no, it's really shiny and brash like the old stuff. So I've just, you know, what's the point?
No, I think it's possibly just because.
No, I'm kidding.
I think possibly that all of those songs are still going around in my head, and I hear them in everything. But it was just, I was really pleased, because when you hear, oh, someone's doing a solo album, especially let's face it, the singer from a band, you think, oh, is it going to be the James Blunt album? But it's not gone that way.
Oh no, Jesus! I mean, kind of I think I did take a wee bit of inspiration, like from John Cale, you know, for the fact that he's a Welshman, and kind of like, and straight away when he did a solo thing after he left the Velvet Underground, which I'm not leaving the Manics, obviously.
Good.
But kind of like he found his own voice straight away, you know. And I think that's where I took a bit of my inspiration from. But like, you know, if there are any kind of train spotters out there, I can't actually think of one song on my solo album that sounds like Sleep Flower. But anyway,
well,
the first track I've called Against the Soul.
No,
which still haunts me to this day, that track.
That's a great song.
Oh, they always get the nutters in the crowd asking for that song. It's always unbelievable. You always know who's going to be, who's near the possibility of being sectioned when they actually shout Sleep Flower out.
But that's because I remember I was sitting on the floor of a rehearsal studio with Claire Sturgis, who's now on XFM London, at you guys' feet as you did the first play out at the album. Happy days. Anyway, this is the first single off James's solo album. This is That's No Way to Tell a Lie. We'll get more from James after this on XFM Scotland. You're listening to Dominic on XFM Scotland. That's James Dean Bradfield's lead-off single, That's No Way to Tell a Lie, from his forthcoming solo album, The Great Western. Single's out on 10th of July, Great Western's out on 24th of July. And James is playing King Tut's next Tuesday, May the 23rd. It's been kept secret until today. Tickets are going on sale from midday today, and we're going to have something to give away as well on XFM Scotland. James is still with me. James...
Yeah.
I've been looking through my notes I made listening to the album. Track 7, Emigre. This is what I've written. Another great love metal classic, very melodic, like a mellower NatWest Barclays Midland Lloyds or Sleep Flower from Gold Against the Soul. So that's the track that sounds like Sleep Flower to me. Track 7, Emigre.
You've just turned my entire spine to stone by mentioning NatWest Barclays Midland Lloyds and Sleep Flower in the same breath. Jesus Christ.
I've also got track 6, Still a Long Way to Go. Shades of Life Becoming a Landslide. A big polished, stadium filling, lighters in the air metal ballad. The kind of ballad that out U2's U2.
Oh, you need help, Dominic.
All these are good things in my book, James.
If you say Symphony of Tourette, I'm walking, okay?
Now we're getting really hardcore. They're getting the dark Manics period. Okay, James, it's really difficult when you interview someone these days, because you go on the internet and try and find out facts, and you never know if they're true, because things like Wikipedia and all that, people put stuff on. So I cobbled together some facts on the internet about James Dean Bradfield, and I would just like to spend this section just going through some, and you let me know if these are true.
Fire away.
James's favourite record ever is Summer Breeze by Frank Sinatra, and your favourite album ever, London Calling by The Clash.
That could just kind of, it's an element of truth to it, but it's summer wind, not summer breeze.
Oh, well, they got that wrong.
It's the summer wind coming in from across the sea. And London Calling used to be my favourite album. That's just a wee bit out of date, but you know, Dominic, that changes every tea time. Favourite album, favourite song, etc., doesn't it?
No, Generation Terrorist is still my favourite album ever.
You're that militant about it.
I refuse to hear anything else. What's the kind of best single and best album you've heard, like, in the last year, James? Anything that's particularly struck you?
I kind of at the moment I'm liking the Ed Arco album. I think that's brilliant. I kind of that's the record I've listened to mostly, to be honest, this year.
Yeah. Your favourite drink?
Which has your kind of good favourite drink?
He says Jameson's whiskey and coke. I remember you drinking Jameson's whiskey and coke.
Yeah, it is. I don't get to drink it that much these days, you know. But Jameson's whiskey and coke, if I can have a tipple, is that followed by a bottle of Asahi beer, Japanese.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, if it had been well researched, it would have had that on it as well.
In fact, I remember sadly after that, you won't know that this was the case, James, but after I interviewed you for Smash Hits and we went to the bar and I said to you, I said, what do you want to drink? And you said Jameson's and coke, and I actually said, oh, I said, that's what I drink too. I'd never drunk it in my life before, James, just pretended that I liked it.
Why are you admitting this?
Because I'm now middle-aged and I'm open about everything, James. It says here, your favourite TV programme of all time is Bagpoos. That can't be true.
No, that was my favourite kids programme, definitely. That and Lassie's Rescue Rangers. I don't know if anybody remembers that at all.
No.
But nah, I kind of, you know, it's kind of, I have got other programmes I watch, definitely.
This was interesting, favourite guitarist of all time, Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac.
No, he's one off. He's still Slash.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but Lindsey Buckingham that's kind of what I might say if, say, a Mojo Jonas was in front of me.
Ah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I would expect something
which very rarely happens.
I would have thought someone like Slash or someone, you know.
No, Slash is still the boy for me, definitely.
Yeah.
He's still got the right tone, he's still got the right cool, still drinks like a killer, he's still a good boy. And he made the best album of all time, really. I mean, like, you know, I'm lying again now because, you know, Appetite Destruction I'm saying is the best album of all time, and there it says London Calling. It does change, doesn't it? You know, I mean, we have kind of militant musical terrorist warriors like you, which will never ever change their choice. But, you know, sane, rational people like myself, we actually will. We'll have a bit of wiggle room.
Okay, on that phrase, little bit of wiggle room. That's fantastic. I love that little phrase. James, listen, thank you so much for joining us live on the show. I am going to warn you that sadly, I will be there at King Tut's when you play.
Oh, no, it'd be nice to have a few drams with you, definitely.
That would be very kind. It'd be nice to go up again. And obviously, I'm going to go out with something from Gold Against the Soul. This is La Tristeza Dure.